Oh, and don't get me started on Ireland. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, the stuff they're putting into schools for children in Ireland. Oh, okay.
Actually, I want to hear about that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so do I.
I talk about Germany and France to fucking death. I want to hear about Ireland. I honestly, Rich, I don't have the bandwidth to follow it.
Take the first step towards online privacy. Get NordVPN.
Okay, so I've done a few videos. So I've done quite a few videos with Ireland, not enough. I've been to Ireland many times. Beautiful, beautiful country, beautiful people. And as someone from a former colony, I've always felt a particular affinity towards the Irish because they were similarly colonized, except for 800 years by the British. So the British were exporting food from Ireland, starving the Irish people, importing it to feed their own on the mainland. And Ireland's not a colonial power. Before the advent of the WEF, they were politically neutral. Irish people just loved everywhere. That was my experience with Irish people. They just loved everywhere. They're just great people. They don't have that colonial mindset that perverts British discourse, and I imagine German and French discourse. They're just great people. A homogenous Roman Catholic country. I'm talking about Southern Ireland because the British were sure to leave this canker sore with Northern Ireland that they can then use to stir up trouble. But the Republic, homogenous Roman Catholic, I think a few years ago, 3.9 million population. And over the last few years or so, 5-10 years, it's now increased by about 1.2, over 5 million, largely male migrants from countries like Georgia, Ukraine, of course, Algeria, Muslim nations, African nations, Nigeria, brought in by the Irish government en masse, and they're being plonked all over the place. So the city of Knock, which has Western Ireland, which has a particular significance for Roman Catholics because there's a shrine, and I don't know the details, but that Mary is supposed to have appeared there and everything. Recently, the government deposited enough migrants there, male migrants, 10% of the population is now non-Catholic in what is a holy city for Roman Catholics. And of course, by the way, just so it's really, really clear, me raising this means I'm a racist white supremacist because I'm opposed to mass immigration and illegal immigration. Then what they're doing with schools, there's a woman called Jana London. I've done a few videos with her. I intend to have her back on, part of the Women's Council, and she's spearheading a campaign against the sexualization of children in Irish schools. They're on their YouTube channel. They have these Irish mammy reads books from Irish libraries, public libraries. These books are available for 12 to 17-year-olds, right? You see, you got to imagine, right? An Irish mammy is like a grandmother figure. And she's reading this book that's available for 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds about fisting, about anal sex, about blowjobs, and the difference between that and hand jobs for children. And then this literature is being made available in schools in Ireland, and the parents don't know, or if they criticize it, well, then it's hate speech. They're white racist supremacists. There was a book. Luckily, this campaign meant this book being suspended, and I think it's a textbook that went into schools that portrayed this traditional Irish family as Neanderthals, as ignorant, racist. The stereotype. Their ginger hair and their fair skin and their old-fashioned values, and then they had this progressive family which was blended, mixed race. And they had this progressive family, this mixed race family, they had all sorts of wonderful woke notions. And the Irish government are producing literature like this. There was such an uproar about it. That book was withdrawn. Now, for me personally, I joined the anti-apartheid movement because I was just horrified by the injustice of that regime and how it was treating African people. Well, I'm horrified by the injustice against white people, against Catholics. I'm not going to sit by and stay quiet about that. I'm up for a world where all human beings honor all human beings. And it's disgusting what this Irish government are doing because they, like Keir Starmer's government in the UK, they are not serving their people. They're serving the WEF, their overlords, out to destroy faith, out to destroy family, out to destroy culture. It's disgusting. And say, well, if you want to know, if you're in Britain, you want to know what life is going to look like in a couple of years' time, you just look over to Ireland and see what they're doing to our children, to their children. Well, they're all our children. We own them all. They belong to everybody. They're our future. Oh, I'm upset. That's my rant about Ireland. So there you go, Tom.
Thank you.
It is like, the shit they're rolling out in California, but on steroids. And because Ireland is economically small, politically small, people don't necessarily know. It doesn't carry the weight like Germany or France do in Europe.
But it needs to be destroyed, because all things that give any of us, any measure of comfort and strength needs to be destroyed.
Yeah, it is evil, Tom. And what I want to say about it, it's divide and rule. Divide and rule, where I'm having arguments with Pakistani friends of mine and also members of my family, and saying, look, this wave of immigration isn't like previous waves of immigration. These aren't genuine refugees or asylum seekers. I've worked with them. These aren't people coming because the economy is booming and their labor is needed. No, this is what imperialists do. They use other groups in order to subjugate and divide and rule the ones they want to lord over. One of the things that the Irish government are doing, they're going to Pakistan to recruit police officers for Ireland. Pakistani police officers for Ireland. Now, the British used Sikhs Sikhs and Hindus to police Muslim communities. They used Hindus to police Muslim communities, and they used Muslims to police Hindu communities.
Yep.
Because then they're better able to suppress the local people. Just like people didn't see or didn't consider that the mRNA injections were a weapon, they thought, oh, this is a vaccine like any other. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Climate change is not like environmentalism. This wave of immigration isn't like previous waves of immigration. This is a weapon that's being used to destroy our lives. And this whole thing about the sexualization of children, this is not about children's liberation. This is about destroying family, the bedrock of society, and destroying religion.